Hey everyone, I'm your average guide Sahil Gogna. Welcome back to another video. So a lot of you have been asking me to prepare a video on SOP writing and cover some of the important points like what should be the ideal length, how you can justify your low CGPA and a lot of other points. So in this video, we are going to discuss everything about SOP writing, and there are three major reasons that you should watch this video till the end. The first one is the speaker. He is an MBA student from Beedie School of Business at Simon Fraser University, and he has a great experience in guiding students. Number two, we will be sharing the sample SOPs in the description box below so that you can take those as reference and write your own SOPs. And number three, the most important one, we will be selecting 2 random subscribers and we will be reviewing your SOPs. If you want to know how you can send us your SOPs, make sure to watch the video till the end. So without any delay, let's get started. Hi Akash, first of all, thanks a lot for joining the call. And this video was trending from a long time, and a lot of subscribers, they were requesting me to tell them about how to write SOP or maybe, some SOP building tips. So thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's an absolute pleasure again collaborating with you. And I'm happy to share my experience and how I made my own SOP and what are some tips that I used. And I will be very happy to share with your audience, and I hope they get a lot of benefits from that.
So Akash, for this video, rather than you telling us like what are the sections that we need to make in our SOP or what are the points we need to keep in mind, I would like you to present your screen and show us your SOP and then walk us through each and every paragraph, like how you thought about those paragraphs and how we can, structure our SOPs according to your SOP, because your SOP was selected for SFU, right? And it's a big thing going to that university. So maybe it will be more interactive if you can show us your SOP and then walk us through each section.
Definitely. Let me share my screen. So for all the audience, first of all, I will tell that I am a student pursuing MBA from BD. So I've written my SOP basically for my master's at BD. So firstly, we have 2 kind of SOPs. First of all, one is the one that you submit to the university for admission, and then later one you submit to the visa officer. Basically, SOP act as your curriculum vitae, when it basically tells you what kind of student you are, what was your professional background, what was your academic background, and what are your goals for pursuing the respective degree that you wanted to pursue. So first of all, we have every SOP we have certain kind of sections, and I would like to go with each of them in details with both of the SOPs. So this is the SOP that I submitted to SFU as an academic SOP. So in the SOP, first of all, you begin with an introduction, who you are, what kind of person you are, and that's what I've written, that I wanted to pursue graduate studies in business administration. And then I wrote the name of the college which I went into. This was sent to John Molson School of Business at Concordia, but I've used a similar kind of background for SFU as well. Then you move to what was your professional background? What was your academic background? Firstly, I've stated my academic background. I would suggest to move in backward station, like starting from your college degree. If you are pursuing for master's, or if you're pursuing to your undergrad, then start from your 12th, what kind of marks you had, what kind of achievements you had. So for instance, I had done my engineering from Thapa University in electronics and communication engineering. So that's what I've mentioned here. And what it helped me, basically it helped me to further enhance my skills in the field of technology and innovation. That basically gives an overview what kind of candidate I am. So I am a candidate coming from technical background. In addition, I would recommend highly to add the values by adding your extracurricular activities, what kind of societies you were in. So I was a part of a global organization called ISEC, Enactus, and some other organizations. So it shows that I was highly active in the society and was contributing back to our society. So it adds additional value as a reader or as a university, because you wanted to have a student who is not only well versed in academic section but also good in the curriculum activities as well. So I think that is highlighting that is really exceptional. And if you have received any kind of scholarships during your college, during your school, that is also necessary to be added. If you have received any kind of even awards, for instance, or if you have participated at national level, any activity and stuff like that, that is also should be added. For instance, in my case, I was a national level drama player, and back in my school days, I've added that in my statement of purpose, which is showing that how versatile I'm as a student and as a learner as well. So that should be added in your academic profile as a student in your SOP. So this is what should be added in academic section.
And Akash, I have some follow-up questions before we proceed to the next section.
Yep.
So the first one is like, in general, what should be the ideal length for the SOP? Does it matter how many words we include in our SOP? Do we need to just be on the point and write everything in short?
So I would suggest to keep it within 2 to 3 pages, first of all. And SOP is basically a reflection of what as a person you are. So I would say be in detail what you have done, what you have achieved, so that you're basically selling yourself. So the better you sell yourself, the better stakes you have to be selected at the university. So I would say explain as much as in detail, but also at the same time keep within 3 pages as well.
Means we need to capture the attention of the reader, right? We
Yeah,
don't want to make the SOP boring for them and redundant for them.
definitely. And they have like 100 of SOP from students around the world. So if you have to stand out, you have to add additional benefit or additional value that you wanted to offer as a student to the university. So adding that is really beneficial.
Okay. And Akash, since you had a great academic performance and you have joined a lot of societies in the university, right? So a lot of students ask me, like, if someone don't have a good CGPA in their bachelor's degree, or they have, how can they compensate that in SOP? How can they, because ultimately we need to write about academics, right? How we
Yeah.
performed, we need to mention that. So what should be their strategy to, reflect that?
Yeah, that's a very valid question. For that, I would say highlight your strengths as well. So we on college don't expect you to be fantabulous or phenomenal in studies as well. They wanted to see a holistic student who's versed in other areas as well. So if, instance, your CGPA is low, but you are an excellent sports person or an athlete, you can add that, which is actually going to compensate on that matter. Or if you can say that, explain that any kind of extra skill that you were learning during your time, or if you don't have anything, just explain why your GP was low. And you can also explain that with this, I wanted another opportunity to learn more. But also you can say that due to my GPA, I don't want to restrict myself in domain, but also wanted to grow. These are few things, one of the cases that you can use and use in your SOP to actually compensate on the lower percentage or the academic grades that you have. So once you have explained clearly what your academic background was, how was the student was, what kind of activities you have pursued. So now next particular element that happens in life is a professional degree with most of the students who are trying to pursue masters as well. So I would highly recommend explaining your professional background. So for instance, after my undergraduation in Thapar University, I joined a firm called Amadeus Labs in Bangalore, where I was a software developer, first as an intern and then a software developer actually. So I've clearly explained what kind of role I had in that as a professional developer in Amadeus, and what kind of values that it offered as an industry, and how this one important thing that I would recommend adding is now how this professional experience ties in with your goal, with your next goal of pursuing any particular field. Like for masters in business administration, I added that I learned a lot about technology, and I also got exposure of business exposure that I wanted. Now I wanted to further build on and see how can I grow as a business with business mindsets. That was my primary goal towards doing MBA, and that's what I explained in my SOP throughout my SOP actually. So that was my main goal, and that's why that ties in why I'm going to do my MBA. And that's what the university is looking at as well. Like, why are you a good candidate to be given a chance to study at their respective reputed university? So you need to emphasize highly why are you pursuing, how it ties with your professional or with your academic studies, and how it will be beneficial for you later on. So that's the next paragraphs comes into the picture, where I've explained how this university, why this MBA is important for me, and why I've selected the particular university. Before writing SOP, for every college, I would recommend analyzing or researching about them. What are the key competency that, or the key value proposition that they offer? For instance, at BD, we have a smaller cohort size, and we have something called international applied projects, which is the key highlight of the program, and also diversity. So that's the three key elements that I learned that I really liked about the program, and that's what I chose BD for as well, right? So that's where I tied my MBA, why I want to do at Beedie School of Business, or why if you wanted to go for McMaster or any other university, you need to mention why you do your master's or any even bachelor's degree. Why, if you are a bachelor, you can say that I have done my science in have taken chosen science in 12th grade, and I wanted to now pursue and further accentuate my skills in that particular skill set. So you can actually say that how this university will help you, and or so it's like a basically give and take, how you will help the university and how the university will help you back. So that's, you need to clearly explain why this particular degree is important to you and why this particular college actually makes sense. That's why you're applying. This is the second last paragraph, I would say, that has to be added in this section. So that is a very key paragraph that university looks for before giving an offer.
Akash, if we move towards the professional experience section, so there are a lot of students who are joining the master's degree just after the bachelor's degree, and they might not have the required professional experience, or even maybe university is not requiring them to have the professional experience, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, what can they write instead of instead of writing the professional experience, because they don't have any?
So in that cases, I would recommend that if you have done any projects, for instance, from MS, people go for MS a lot, and they don't have sometimes done any professional work, but they might have worked on certain projects during their bachelor's, that they have developed some kind of app or some kind of website or some kind of thing that they think is really can be added value to them, so that they can use that as their professional experience, basically as a side project, that what they were doing. So adding side projects or stuff like that actually can be a good alternative to your professional experience if you don't have any.
Okay. And Akash, one more thing, that after a bachelor's, like there are some students who have some years of gap. That gap might be due to their family problems. It might be due to their health problems, or any reason, right? So is it advisable to justify that gap in your SOP?
Yeah, it's mandatory to explain the gaps if you have any. Like, so for instance, you have health reasons and you decided to take some break and take care of your health, you need to mention that. And also, in addition, that during my break, I actually not only work on my health actually, but I learn certain skills. Like, for instance, you started playing badminton, or you started learning a new language, or learning a new core skill set, so that you can add. Basically, it explains that you were not killing your time, but you were doing something productive in your life, whether it's taking a break and taking care of your health and also learning some skill sets. So that will justify your breaks or justify any kind of breaks you have in your life. So that is so basically till now we have covered that what university wants, right? Like what we, as a student, we are offering in terms of academic, and what kind of professional background we have, and why we wanted to join the program. In the last paragraph, we will basically sum it up and basically say that as a candidate, I am an experienced and learned professional, and I think that I can do better. And after learning at your reputed university or the institution, I will not only grow as a professional but as a person as well. So tying on those both levels, how university is summarizing basically how university will be helping you and how you can help the university. At the last paragraph, you makes it sums up your SOP. And so this comes around 2 pages, and it is a good length, I would say, for 2 pages for a university SOP.
Hey guys, I hope you are finding this video useful, and related to the reviewing SOP, we will be selecting 2 subscribers, and you have to do 3 things. The first one is that you have to follow me on Instagram. Number 2, you have to write your SOP using all the guidelines that we are mentioning in this video. And number 3, which is the most important one, you have to update your LinkedIn profile. And the reason we need your LinkedIn profile is because we don't want you to miss anything from your experience, so that we can have a look and give you feedback, whatever you can add in your SOP. So once you are done with all the steps, make sure to write us an email and attach your SOP as well as your Instagram username as well as your LinkedIn profile. So once you are done with everything, just make sure to send us an email and we will be reviewing your SOP. So now let's get back to video.
So this was our academic SOP. It is a bit more concise, but when you go for visa SOP, because now you have secured your position in a particular university, and now you wanted to apply for visa, and you want to tell particular university, but the visa officer, that I am a legit student and not doing anything, and wanted to learn in your home country actually. So this is my own SOP for visa. So this is a bit more extensive. You have to explain a lot more stuff in this. Designate to the officer that you're writing, and then you have to write a brief intro about yourself. And if you have submitted your fees, that like I have mentioned that I have completed my payment since you know that there are two visa processes like SDS and non-SDS, I went via SDS. And if you're going via SDS, you need to mention that you have deposited that lump sum amount of this amount, and you have to give your screenshots or valid proof of that in while submitting your application as well. So this was my first general intro what as a student what I am and why I'm what I'm doing, basically pursuing my MBA from Simon Fisher University, and I've submitted this amount via Flywire. Now it comes to next to your educational background, extracurricular activities. One more thing I would like to add to the listeners that the viewers that it is important to add here your, or if you want it, I would recommend adding your headings for each of the categories. Like I've added educational background and extracurricular activities. So in this, I have started from my 10th and 12th that what my percentages were, and then I show that I went to Thapar University with the certain GPA. And here I explain that what kind of courses I learned at Thapar, basically showing first of all what are my technical skill sets are. And since I'm going to a business domain, I had few courses back in my engineering like organizational behavior, economics, and communication skills, which are directly in tie with my business with MBA that I want to pursue. So I showed a link between my previous degree to the current degree I wanted to have. And so that shows that, oh, you're not going something offset or something new, completely new, which sometimes could be appear as abysmal to the visa officer as well. So that is good to have, and adding on that. And then I showed what are my extracurricular activities. I was a active debater in my school, and that I showed that, and I also received 75 international rank in International Science Olympiad back in my school days. I was part of these activities. So again, showing that I have been active in all these extracurricular activities and showing that I'm a strong candidate and could be value in the nation actually. So here you're not showing your value as a student, but you are showing that if you're coming to a foreign country, how can you be a valuable student in their homeland actually. So you have to be very mindful of that thing as well. Then I have added my work experience. I show that I joined Amadeus Lab as a full-time employee, as a software engineer, and then what my roles and responsibilities. I got an accolade there as well. So I have mentioned that I got a Best Employee in Division award by the management, and basically mentioning about that, and then showing that what kind of experiences that I had. I had certain kind of software skills which I gained, and I also going some manager skill sets while managing some projects. So, and that shows that why it will be helpful for MBA, and that's why I show that I am a good candidate to even pursue MBA at SFU further actually, right? So this is the work experience that I have showed them. And then a very important paragraph that we have to add here is why Canada. We have many great locations to pursue your higher studies, but what makes Canada a special destination for you? So for me, I have written like it is a diverse country, and I wanted to learn from people, and I like working with people. So basically highlighting that factor why you are choosing a particular country, it is also important. Also, you need to mention why are you not pursuing a similar program in India. I could have also pursued my master's in India, but I didn't. I actually chose Canada. So you need to mention why are you choosing Canada over India. And one recommendation I would say, don't say bad about India. Like the programs are something like that. They're not that good or stuff like that. But you need to mention that maybe the Canada offered more diversity over Indian programs, and that was I was looking for. And I was writing, while I was writing, I was thinking a lot why I am not pursuing a similar program in India, and someone recommended that don't write bad thing. And that's what I went for. And I would recommend the viewers again to do that as well. And so then I was like, and that's, I also mentioned what is SFU as a university. It's a very reputed university, and among the top 150 universities in MBA in the world. And again, the badge size, which makes it a very peculiar university or peculiar institution, that's what I've added. And then I have researched some of the programs, some of the subjects that were directly in line with my previous expertise and I wanted to learn actually. So this was business analytics, leadership and teamwork, finance management, and more. These are the courses that I was looking forward to learn from them. And you also need to mention, when you're mentioning the subjects, you need to mention how this particular subject will be adding values. So for instance, I added business analytics has been a really important field right now, and how it will help me further. So that is a field you need to add a bit more about that. After that, you have to explain. Here I will explain all these subjects and what they will add the value to me. So this way, basically, I'm telling I have researched a lot more about the program. I'm not a general student just wanted to get into Canada. I'm a legit student who actually want to study MBA in a particular institute. And so it shows that how much strategy, how much planning I've done while choosing this university. So after that, now you are not saying to the in the visa officer that you will be staying back. That's one recommendation I will give you. Don't say that I'm going to stay back in Canada. You would say that I'll come back, and you need to say that how this particular program will enhance your employment opportunity in India. So I've listed the reasons. Basically, I've showed that the employment has been growing and there have been further opportunities growing on. And I think that I wanted to go into these particular fields that I think that this MBA will be helpful me adding value. So that's why I think that is important. And one important aspect that in our program was that we had a 4-month internship. So we added that the 4-month internship will not only give me a global exposure, which will be really helpful for me to gain a lot of skill sets and work new people and gain a leadership mindset, which I can apply back while coming back to India. So you need to mention for your bachelor's, for instance, you can say that after doing my bachelor's in computer science, I will learn some great skill sets, like some coding skills, which I will be working and start working with from internship with a global firm. And this will help me to understand how different mindsets work in different diversities work. And then it will be really easy for me to transition back in India and increase my employment opportunities. So you can mention on those aspects as well. Also, in addition to that, you don't say that what you need to also explain that what ties you have in India. You need to say that, of course, your family is there. And that is one of the reasons that you want it, that compels you to come back. But it should not be the only reason, because many people here living without their parents, right? So you need to say that my father has a business and I wanted to contribute to his business as well. Or maybe there's something that I have to take care first, or some you have to make up some reason, or you have to bring some reason in your SOP that makes that, you will be returning back. And that ways it shows that visa officer, you are only here to pursue your degree and then go back to your homeland. As a visa officer, you don't wanted anyone here to come just for studies and settle here, because then it shows up you're not a legit student, but you don't want to show that, right? So you say that you will be coming back to your home country, and that sums up your visa SOP. Visa SOPs are generally longer than your academic SOPs, because in that you are detailing more about why you're coming to Canada, or how will you be going back. That's why it's a bit longer, and it could be around 3 to 4 pages. Over to you, Sahil, if you have any questions on that.
I don't have any question. That was a really, really great explanation. Like, you went through all the sections. In fact, you went through all the lines. You told us what you have written. And I think it cannot be explained in a simpler way than this.
Thank you so much, Sahil. Thank you so much. And I'm happy to be part of this. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, this was our today's video, and I hope this was helpful. Make sure to like the video and share it with someone who is planning to pursue their higher studies from Canada, so that we can review their SOP or they can participate in this. See you in the next video. Till then, stay safe.